Well, we've been saying that the pullbacks we've been seeing on the market will remain shallow ahead of the full year earnings releases being anticipated. In that context, what's your investment strategy right now? Are you holding back, awaiting confirmation from the numbers before delving in, or buying ahead of a market rush?
I'm buying ahead in particular places. I'm looking for very low PE, undervalued stocks, which have already reported strong third quarter earnings, and I'm trying to position in those kind of counters. In particular, Kenya Commercial Bank, which trades on a forward price earnings of below 8 and has a very expansive regional franchise. I'm having a look at Kenya Airways, and as I've said before, I'm very bullish on the agricultural counters, in particular tea, which I think is going to trade considerably higher this year.
Let's take a look at Safaricom, because it's really been making headlines, coming under severe pressure, especially after Bharti came to the fore with its latest plan for tariff cuts. I mean, what's your analysis of what's playing out in this arena? Because we already know that you're pretty bullish about Safaricom as it stands alone.
Yeah. Well, I think, clearly Airtel is a very powerful competitor. They seem to be prepared to underwrite a loss-making operation for a long time. How long is still debatable. If you recall the third quarter earnings release in Mumbai, the African news and the African losses created a severe reaction in the share price, from which it's now recovered. So I don't think they have an infinite timeline with this irrational pricing policy. And I think when I look at this 1 shilling offer, I see it less as a sign of strength, more as a sign of desperation.
Well, from some analysis that I've been reading, Safaricom, they're saying, can either reduce prices and to maintain market share, or they can maintain their margins but lose market share. Now, previous CEO Michael Joseph has said that engaging in price wars is unsustainable as a business model in the first place. So do we assume that they're going to be opting for the latter in this case?
I would opt for the latter in this case. I don't see this as a serious threat. This 1 shilling a minute offer that they've put out there, I think it's a gimmick, and I think Safaricom should look through it. The key aspect, voice and SMS, are commoditized businesses. They belong in the 20th century. It's all about data and the internet, the mobile internet, as we saw in Tunisia, that kind of thing. And this is where Safaricom remain in the lead. As long as they can maintain that lead, I remain bullish. If they can't, I'll change my view.
Still, the question being asked is what's going to get Safaricom above that initial IPO price and stay there? Is it just a matter of time? Because so far, no matter how optimistic the market overall seems to be about this company, it's proving to be quite a challenge.
It is proving to be quite a challenge, but I will alert you to the fact there's been absolutely enormous volume going through the market on Safaricom since the beginning of the year. I think Wednesday last we traded more than we've traded in any session in last year. And I think there's clearly a mopping up exercise going on. Somebody's buying this paper at a PE of 12. And I think we will eventually turn higher. Because of the number of shareholders, it tends to move rather slowly. It doesn't move as dynamically as some of these other shares at the Nairobi Stock Exchange, which have smaller floats and smaller shares to absorb.
Aly Khan, before we go, I just want to take a look at some regional news that's developing and pertaining to IPOs this year. We've got Rwanda's largest brewer and soft beverage company slated to be oversubscribed by more than 142%. Just how keenly are you watching developments on that front? Because we know ever since the signing of the East African Common Market Protocol, the regional activity that we're seeing has come starkly under the spotlight.
Well, firstly, this is the first IPO that the government of Rwanda has ever issued, so I think there's a premium around it. The beverage sector is red hot in Africa. Everybody's woken up to the fact that we got a lot of consumers. Guinness, Nigeria, hit a record, has hit a multi-year high in Nigeria. EABL is trading on a trailing price earnings of 23, 24. Every foreign investor I meet wants more beverages. So I think this is a symptom of the rarity, the scarcity of the issue, and the fact that the beverage sector is so hot, and it came at a very attractive price, I think. I thought it would be oversubscribed a little further, but it came at the slow Christmas period, and this is a sterling performance given that context, I think.